welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Marissa Laughlin. I'm a holistic nutritionist and I love everything to do with wellness. So for today's video, I actually want to talk to you guys about my garden. So spring of 2020 was obviously when everything went crazy, the world shut down, we hit a pandemic, and I realized that I needed to find something to keep me busy, to keep my mind off things, so I decided to start a vegetable garden. I have never had a green thumb, I cannot even keep succulents alive, so I wasn't too sure how this experience would go. But there are a lot of things that I learned along the way that I want to share with you guys so that if you start your vegetable garden, then you can maybe learn from my mistakes. Last year, I learned so much from planting seedlings and planting way too many seedlings. Peppers, cucumbers, tomatoes, basil, jalapeno peppers. I had multiple trays of so many different vegetable plants and about 75% of them didn't even last. I ended up planting more seeds actually in the garden. I had way more success that way than I did from seedlings. So this year I did a lot of research on what plants and crops I actually wanted to grow in my garden. And I really researched as to whether or not I needed to plant for seedlings or if I could plant directly in the ground. And I also didn't know last year that certain things grow better when they're planted together. I just wung it last year. I had great success. I had lots of cucumbers, so many tomatoes, peppers, lots of basil, but I really want to make sure that my garden is flourishing and giving me nutrient-dense food because I want those nutrients and also I want the satisfaction of growing something from start to finish. So this year I've split up my garden. We're actually making a bigger vegetable garden, which I'm so excited for, and changing a few things up. I have sectioned off our new plan for our vegetable garden based on the plants that I want to plant together and so on throughout each section. So for the purpose of today's video, I want to show you guys what we are doing for 2021's vegetable garden. What I will say is I am no expert. This is only the second garden I've ever planted, but I have been doing a lot of research on what's successful, what's not successful based on where we live and also the types of seeds that I'm using. So I thought I would share my mistakes and my tips and tricks with you just in case you decide to make your own vegetable garden this year. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what I'm doing for my seedlings this year. Most of my seeds I will be planting in the ground, but I am going to start some seedlings right now, like tomatoes, peppers, and some spices. And then I'll show you the other ones that I plan on planting later once the ground is thawed a little bit better and we don't have frost in the forecast. So let's go plant some seedlings. Welcome to my backyard, guys. I am sure you will see this view come up a lot in my YouTube videos and on social media this year because I plan on spending a lot of time just relaxing and chilling out here with my pups and of course Shay. So to start, let me show you these seeds that I have purchased so far that I hope to grow into a large, delicious vegetable garden. Okay, let me start by showing you the seeds that I have purchased so far and that I'm incredibly hopeful they grow into full-size vegetables. So we've got beans, carrots, kale, romaine lettuce, broccoli, golden beets, cucumbers, sweet red peppers, regular delight tomatoes, basil, and dill. And these seeds are from Gaia Organic Seeds, which is a Canadian company, and I purchased these at Joanne's place. We had such an array of vegetable seeds come in and floral seeds, and I'm really excited to try these ones out. Also, I was just recently in Canadian Tire and noticed that they had Seeds of Change certified organic seeds. So I'm gonna try to grow celery, peppermint, cherry tomatoes, and calendula leaves. I recently spoke on the Wellness on Purpose podcast on my views on buying certified organic food, so I will link that episode in the comments for you to check out and get some information as to why you may want to choose certified organic seeds as well. So here I am just planning out my sections of our new garden and what grows best with what based on the research I've done through YouTube videos and also by visiting these two seed sites. So that's one tip I will give to you is wherever you buy your seeds from, that brand, go visit their website because there's a lot of information on there on companion planting, the best times to plant, the distance between each seed, the type of environment that these seeds will thrive in, and all of the good information. That was one thing that really helped on my research this year, was actually using the resources that these companies provide on their websites. So as I mentioned, we are sectioning off our new garden based on the sections that I want to plant these seeds in. So I've broken it down into 4 different sections based on ideal companion planting. So for section 1, I am planting beets, broccoli, and kale. For section 2, I am planting carrots and lettuce together. For section 3, I am planting cucumbers, celery, beans with sunflowers. That's supposed to help repel any insects and bugs. And for section number 3, I will be planting peppers, tomatoes, and calendula leaves. Again, calendula is supposed to help fight off any types of pests that could be lingering that want to eat these delicious tomatoes and red peppers. And then for the last section, which I think I'm going to use hanging planters, I will be planting my herbs: dill, basil, and peppermint. So the seeds that I am going to be planting today for seedlings is kale, broccoli, peppers, and tomatoes. So let me show you how I am going to plant these and reuse some things that I had from last year. So I did not want to go in and buy more trays because I had a ton of trays that just didn't have any proper drainage. So I decided just to drill holes in 2 different trays so that I could plant the seeds and then put that tray in another tray so that it would have proper drainage. So Shay's just helping me out here, drilling some holes into the plastic for that drainage. Now that the holes are drilled, I can start to put some soil into these and get them ready to plant the seeds. So I grabbed Nature's Care organic soil mix from Canadian Tire. I've used this before. I really liked it. It has a great combination of different organic nutrients, and also it's a decent price. Now that both trays are filled with nutrient-rich soil, I'm just gonna add a little water to give it some hydration before we plant the seeds. I wanna start off by saying that I am no expert here on any type of gardening, but I did do quite a bit of research on the best way to plant seeds, and really the consensus that I got was to not overthink it and that you can keep it as simple as you'd like. Last year when I planted my seedlings, I did all individual pods and I put them in these trays all in their own little section, and none of them survived. So a lot of the YouTube videos that I watched did this method where they just created the lines that are about 1/4 inch deep and simply spread their seeds out and cross their fingers and hoped for the best. So that is my method this year, and I am planting 2 different trays with seeds that I will be planting in the same section of the garden. So for tray number 1, I'm going to be planting my tomatoes and my red peppers. Once I've dropped all of the seeds into the lines you've created, I'm just going to lightly pat soil over top and move on to tray number 2. I was so amazed by broccoli seeds. I've never seen a broccoli at its fine little tiny seed, and it's almost like a pearly color to it, which I thought was pretty cool. So in this tray, again, I'm planting broccoli and kale, which are 2 of my favorite vegetables. If you have any suggestions or extra tips and tricks for me, I would so appreciate it if you put it in the comments. I'm definitely open to learning more and making sure that my seedlings are successful and that my garden is flourishing with lots of healthy plants. Making sure that the seeds are covered here and then giving them a little bit of water to hydrate and begin their germination process. And lastly, I am just going to cover them with their clear tops and cross my fingers and hope for the best. And it wouldn't be a YouTube video without including my sweet, sweet assistants, Miss Harper and Miss Huntley. and the seeds are planted. So Shay and I are still figuring out the dimensions in which we will build for our new garden. We want to make sure that it's not too expensive, that it's going to withhold the amount of plants that we plan on planting, and that it's easy for us to access at all points. So we're still figuring those details out, and when we have that set in stone and we have the materials, I will vlog that experience so you guys can see us building the garden and transferring our seedlings into the new garden, as well as the seeds that we did not plant today. If you are not following me on Instagram, make sure you do. Here is my handle here. I will be giving everybody an update throughout the next few weeks on how my seedlings are going. So if you want to follow along, you can follow along there, or wait until we bring the next video of us planting them and you'll see if they turned out. As I mentioned already, I am very new at this, so if you guys have any tips or recommendations, I would love to hear them in the comments below. Or if you're somebody who's decided to pick up gardening this year, let me know how your progress is going and what seeds you decided to start as seedlings already. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you loved this video, please give it a thumbs up so I know that you liked this video and you'd like to see more of my garden throughout the summer. If you have not already, please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!